They want social order. They want the social order the way it was, and authoritarianism is the desire for to get out the other, and to get a strongman leader.
Leave your blind obedience at the door. It's time for Carl and Mike.
Welcome, Carl and Mike. I'm Carl.
And I'm Mike.
And we're here at the Corner Baker Cafe,
Yes.
Dallas, Texas, on a gloomy, rainy week, really. But it's
We're going
March.
to just have to get used to that. This is what it's going to be
It's
like.
called spring.
Yeah, no, that's just going to be, global warming, lots of rain.
Oh.
In fact, I actually read an article. Did you see that article where, and it could be just an article that everybody's, one of those bullshit articles where they said everybody needs to shop for a good raincoat because this is just the way it's going to be because of global warming. We're going to see more
Really?
big rains and stuff, yeah.
We're going to have more big rains?
Yeah, but I mean...
So global warming actually brings more moisture?
Well...
Not dry desert heat and drought?
I don't know. I mean, for us, the last few years, we had all that drought. Now we have monsoon kind of rains, which
Well,
have
think
just
about it.
been
If the ice
unreal.
melts on Greenland and all those places, becomes water. Water gets vaporized up into the air.
Yeah.
Maybe we would have more rain
Yeah.
in global warming.
I don't know.
It would be
It
called
just-
global wetting.
Yeah, but all I know, this winter, I have never seen anything like this in Dallas. This was not a winter.
We didn't really have winter.
No, there was no winter.
There was no winter.
No.
There's a couple days
Yeah.
that we put on a jacket.
Well, and here's another thing. At the local, farm to market thing that we have in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
on the weekends, the peach growers are saying the peaches are going to be out a month early this year. That says a lot about the weather we had during the winter. So we're
Yeah.
going to start eating peaches a month earlier, which
April
is fine
instead of
with
May.
me.
Yeah.
Does that mean they piss out a month later? I don't know.
Well, the global deniers, the global climate deniers, they always say things like, well, then we'll just be able to transverse the Arctic waterways and travel that much faster.
Oh yeah, like
And
every
stuff.
I'm
so
dying
yeah,
to
looking
go
at
up
the
there.
positive,
Yeah, okay.
trying to look at the positive thing. Like the peaches would be a month earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a positive thing for a global denier. I am disappointed that we can't seem to agree on facts anymore.
Whose facts? Your facts? My
yeah,
facts?
see, you know what I mean?
The company's facts.
Yes, company has facts.
The company has facts. And
Everyone has an agenda.
the government regulators have facts. I was thinking about this today. It's all part of the stuff we've talked about. People
Right.
losing faith in the establishment. VW. The people that bought VWs
Yeah.
trusted
Yes.
the company was giving them the right information in their advertising and marketing about their...
That was a mistake.
Well, yeah, no, you don't believe anything that comes from advertising and marketing, literally, right? I mean, we're both from that, and we're here to tell you, folks, it's all
Bullshit. It's staking a position.
And in Volkswagen's case,
Yes.
it was a lie.
That was a lie.
They staked a position on a lie, and they're still trying to find out how high it goes, and I think they're up to 17 people so far that they want to talk to. They're trying to get to the board.
Uh-huh.
And the higher management kind of people, and they haven't, those people are going,
I don't know what's going
I don't
on
know
up
what those
there.
people down there are doing.
Right.
So, and then you trust that the government regulators that are supposed to be regulating this are doing the right thing.
You would think.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you trust the state inspectors that are inspecting your car that they're doing the right thing. Turns out
it turned
nobody
out
is.
nobody was? Not even the state inspector? I
everybody
thought the
was.
thing just automatically switched over.
Well, maybe it automatically switches
it
up.
kinda
Somebody caught them.
Yeah, it finally got caught, but it took a while.
Yeah.
But anytime you're going to do, I don't even go there because it's like so stupid. You're going to
Yeah.
get caught. It's too big a world.
Well, not after you've made millions of dollars.
Yeah, but it's going to cost you billions of dollars in damages.
Yeah, but by that time you're gone. You're retired.
That's the thing, is you just leave the company.
Yeah.
You see, there's no...
You're not going to prison.
Well, shouldn't there be prison for that? There's people in prison for smoking a joint. There should be prison for deceiving millions of customers and affecting the whole global air quality.
Yeah.
Not to mention that. Ah, well, that's that. And that's why there's an anti-establishment mood out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's pretty
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
That's why Donald Trump is our savior and king.
Hitler wasn't called a president. What was he? He
Führer.
wasn't Führer. Mein Führer.
Ma Führer.
Mein Führer.
One of my favorite things to do, I don't know if you've ever do this, but if you go on YouTube, there's a classic movie where Hitler, it's a World War II movie. Have you ever seen these? So they got Hitler there, and it's the scene where they come in and basically tell Hitler, we're going to lose this thing. And so what people do is, because it's all done in German with subtitles,
Yeah.
and it's really well acted.
Yeah.
And Hitler slowly, puts off the glasses.
Yeah.
Just looking at the map, and the guys are all scared.
Yeah.
And then he looks up and he goes into a rant.
Right.
So it's a great meme. You should do this for enjoyment.
Yeah.
You go on YouTube and you just type Hitler, you'll find him.
Yeah.
And so they pick scenes. So they make stuff. Like Hillary finds out she loses Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah.
To Sanders, or all those kinds of cultural things
that are
would
going
piss
on.
you off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they just
And show
somebody
him
writes
throwing
in new
pan-
dialogue.
Yeah.
Writes the subtitles, changes the goddamn Bernie Sanders, his minions, he means nothing,
Yeah.
And it just plays off. It's great. It's great. I don't know. I get a kick out of it
Yeah.
because there's a lot of those things these days. All right. So what else going on with you?
Well, Nita had a little heart attack this weekend, and
That's a big deal.
that's one of those slap in the side of the face, wake up kind of call deals.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
That whole experience, we're still trying to process.
Sure.
And what is it? It's Thursday.
So it happened last.
It happened last Saturday morning early. She wakes me at 3 a.m. and goes, "Hey, I think I'm having a heart attack. Let's go to the hospital." I'm going, "Okay." And so, literally,
Was that a
yeah,
matter of?
it was that quick. It's
Yeah.
like throw on your clothes and you're in the car. 3 a.m. I'm flying down one of the main arteries, running red lights,
So
which
felt it was
I'm
better to-
digging. I'm digging. So
Yeah.
I'm going fast,
Yes.
way over the speed limit.
I'm sure.
Blowing through the red lights, and she's saying we don't have to do that. And I said, worst case scenario, a cop pulls us over. We tell him what's going on, and he flags us all the way in.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
So he was a license to speed for you.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it is.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
Absolutely. Anybody
At
that
3
doesn't
a.m. on a
speed,
Saturday?
yeah. You're not worried about local laws there.
No.
So we get in and go inside. They immediately check us in, start hooking her up to the machines, doing all kinds of tests. And this is not one of those ER Chicago Hope where somebody arches their back and goes, and you got people ripping the shirts off and going, paddles clear, dink. It's not one of those kind of deals. It's a lot more insidious than that.
Really?
Ooh,
That's a big word.
that's an
insidious.
SAT word. Do I get points?
That's 3 points. for
That's
that
3
word.
point word. Anyway,
Why do you
Well,
say
you-
insidious, besides being a good word?
I think insidious is right because it's kind of a sleeper kind of a thing. When it's real violent and stuff, you go,
Right.
"Oh my God, yeah,
Right,
no."
right.
But when it's going on, but you're not seeing any outward signs in Nita that it's going on. I mean, the inward signs for her were tightness of chest, a kind of a heat in the middle of the chest,
Right.
radiating up and out both arms and up her neck into her jaw. Okay.
Yeah. So
Turns
it
out this has
woke
been
her
going.
up.
Well, here's the interesting part. She woke up to pee and realized that was going on. During the week, she had had episodes like that, which she neglected to tell me about. And but it was only when she was exerting herself, and then when she would sit down and relax, they would go away. But this is, I mean, how much more relaxed can you be than when you're laying down sleeping?
Right.
So she gets up and that's going on. So she takes an aspirin, Tums, and she gets up at 2, wakes me up at 3. So anyway, we're at the hospital. They're running all these tests, and then they said, "Well, we need to do a cath in you." And the cath team's not in on the weekend, but we're bringing them in for somebody over here that's really serious. So you'll get to, you'll be number 2 in line. Turns out she wound up being number 1 in line. Just a few hours later, we're going through the lab, and she's going up into the lab. She's having the little camera run up there to find out what the deal is.
Right.
finds out there's a 95% blockage in some left descending artery, or I don't know what it is.
It's always 95.
Yeah, and it's never 93. It's
never like 72.
Or 72.
You ever hear that? No.
No,
Every
no.
time it's always 95,
You have a 61% blockage. I go,
Yeah.
okay, well, I'll just live with it for a while and see what happens.
Yeah.
No.
Call me when you get to 76. I mean, what is the number
Go
exactly?
home and do this. Yeah. So anyway, and see, that's the deal. You got to find humor in this. And Nita and I have been laughing about it, various aspects of it.
Right.
But then
It's a way
but then you do that, and then 10 minutes later, you're not.
Right.
You know. So anyway, so they go through that, come back. You know, she's out behind the wall, and my sister and I and my daughter, one of my daughters, is sitting out in the waiting room, waiting for what's going on. And he comes out and tells us all this, and said, well, she's up at her room now if you want to go on up. So we go up, and she's awake and not sitting up. She's got to lay down for a while. So anyway, we're going. No.
She's had a heart stent put in.
Had a heart stent put in. Okay.
Seems like surgery.
No, it's what it is it's either a little small cut or a larger puncture that goes right into the one of the main arteries or veins in your groin. So and then they kind of run this camera on a wire up into your heart and kind of take a look at shit and then go, well, this one's blocked. We need to work on that.
She's asleep during that part.
No, she's awake.
No,
she can watch it on the screen. What say? This is the camera.
I have troubles
going.
with needles.
Yeah, see, this is. But
thing.
see, she's a nurse, so she's kind of
fascinated by it all. I'm saying, put me out. Call me when it's over.
I think they actually want you awake.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. You know, there's all this kind of stuff that I'm not sure about. So anyway, they put the stent in, which is this metal tube that's kind of like expanded wire, right?
Right.
And it's got a balloon on the inside, and they pump up the balloon, and that expands this metal sleeve, expands the artery in the metal sleeve, so you get more blood running through there, right? And then
you instantly feel this rush?
I don't know. No, she didn't say so, but my guess is once she starts getting better blood flow, there's going to be some feeling, but she hadn't really said anything about that, and we've talked about that. So then you deflate the balloon, and the stent stays in place in its expanded position, and you pull the stent back out.
Really?
I mean, the balloon back out. Yeah.
How do you know it doesn't collapse later on by just the...
Because they're designed to do this shit.
Okay.
You know. So anyway, now here's the interesting
That's how you
part.
put a stent in.
Yeah.
And you're awake the whole time.
Yeah, there's multiple drugs that she's now going to be
taking. Out the groin?
Where she has that puncture, there's a chance that there'll be some bleeding there, and they watch that. They put some sort of plug in there to make sure it doesn't bleed. Because you poked a hole in a major deal, and you don't want to have that bleed. So it's got a seal, so they put some medical caulk in there. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Medical caulk?
Medical caulk that's in there until it dissolves over a 7 to 10 day period while the thing is healing.
Right.
Okay, that's the theory and the practice of the deal. So anyway, so then she's got drugs she has to take. Here's the interesting part. The stent goes in, and then there's a drug that you have to take every day for a year to keep the platelets from collecting around that stent, which is not good. You don't want that. I don't know what the platelets are, so I said to keep the bad shit away from the screen, the stent, okay? And so you got to take it every day. Now, here's the kicker so far. And this is going to be interesting because we're going to follow this. I'll probably talk about it more. The drug that goes in there that she takes, they give you a coupon for the first month. First month's free.
First one's free.
Yeah, here.
You got a coupon?
Here, smoke this. The first one's free, right? Yeah. But you have to take it every day. You cannot miss it.
Cannot miss a day.
Cannot miss a day. So they're taking this the whole time. Right. She's taking this. And then it looks like what it's going to be is $87 a month for just that one med to do that. And that's with our insurance.
You have insurance?
Yeah, that's
what
our
would have
insurance.
been without the insurance?
Almost $400.
Get out.
Yeah. almost $400 a month. Now, here's the thing. It's interesting about this. We have good insurance. We don't know what this is ultimately
Anita works in a hospital.
Yeah, we don't ultimately know what we're going to be out of pocket on this, but I'll
Right.
find out. I'll let you know because we're going to ask for an itemized statement on it.
So you're going to get to enjoy our healthcare system at its finest,
Yes.
or lowest.
Yeah.
However, depending you want to
yeah.
look at it.
Yeah. And so.
But they surely can't charge someone who doesn't have insurance. It doesn't have insurance because they're poor. It can't cost them $400 because they would not get it.
Well, that's the question I have. What happens if you're poor and you need it? Because see, when you go
'Cause
in the
you need a
emergency
stent.
room and you
Yeah.
have to have this stent, they'll put the stent in you. And if you're poor, does the government then pick up, or
The
Medicare
pill that
or
you gotta
Medicaid?
take every day for
do
a
they
year.
do they pick up the cost of that pill? If it's Medicaid or Medicare, we're still going to be out of pocket some money. We haven't slipped into Medicare yet, so we
Right.
don't even know what that's going to be. So anyway, we're just going to be interesting to see.
Right.
But there's another thing that happened is in the ER they put some nitro under her tongue
Right.
to kind of dilate the veins and make it calm down a little bit.
Right.
They have this tiny little bottle that they unscrew the cap, and they've got a nitro pill. There's several nitro pills in there. They only use one. The rest of it they don't use.
What do they do with it?
Yes, it gets
Use it for
trashed.
the next-
You can't,
you
no,
can't. What?
no. You have to open a brand new one for each patient.
But you only give them one pill?
Yeah.
Why don't they should
Then
give
when
them a
we
little
went
bottle
upstairs, when we went
for
upstairs,
later?
no. Well, when we went upstairs, new bottle, new load,
What?
and still didn't use them all.
So you,
Now think
you
of
could
the
have used the
medical-
old bottle.
Yeah.
And finished it off.
Think of the medical waste. Now, here's another thing that Nita told me about. The typical dose on this drug is 150 milligrams.
Right.
The typical bottle that you get is 100. Now, the pharmaceutical companies have got to know the typical dose on this.
So why would they
So-
do 150?
Well, that's a real good.
Was it-
Oh, Carl. Now, why? Now, see, this is what I.
Well,
have-
I'm
ch-
gonna
wait,
give
wait.
a theory.
Cynicism check.
Yeah.
Okay.
You may be cynical. So you're saying just to make for the extra money.
I'm not saying that they.
I'm
would
going
do-
to
I don't-
possibly be. I'm going to be the optimistic.
Uh-huh.
Optimistic watch. Couldn't it be that in some cases it is you do need 150, and
The
so
vast
just to
majority
cover?
of them are 100. The typical.
But
dose
you're
is
always going to
100.
have occasional 150 needed for
Well,
somebody.
then, on those rare
Use
occasions
another
where-
bottle of 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And let's use if you need another 50 on rare occasions, then get another 100 milligram bottle, and then you're still just wasting 50 on that one person rather than
Right.
wasting 50 on everybody. Just as a matter of course, it's not wasting. Well, what happens if the nurse spills some, Carl?
Yes, the
Wait a
nurse
minute,
could
I'm-
spill some. But you
I'm
still.
feeling a wave of
Optimism?
I've been cynicism waving over me again.
Yeah.
I don't believe for a second that they don't know how this works.
Okay, but there's collusion here. The pharmacy and the hospital, both.
Hospital doesn't care.
Hospital doesn't care. The pharmacy makes extra money, but the hospital has to bill that
Yeah.
150
Yeah.
dosage.
Yeah, they don't bill just what they use. They bill the whole bottle.
So it's just another little profit center for
And,
both.
and I've heard this as well from my daughter who used to work at a pediatric hospital, and there are certain kinds of drugs that they pull into syringes that they almost always use a smaller dose than what's in the vial, yet you can't reuse what's in the vial.
Right. So there's a lot of waste and inefficiencies
Oh.
that we pay for.
Yeah. Well, we look at it as waste and inefficiencies. The pharmaceuticals company looks at it as
Pure
that's-
profit.
Well, that's gravy. Yeah.
Probably all under the banner of better safe than sorry, Michael. Better safe than sorry.
Well, and that's the way life insurance. Oh, Carl,
Yeah.
don't you want to make sure that Suzanne is taken care of in case something horrible happens to you?
Right.
Just like, all
But
these.
you don't think there's a legitimate, if you're the only breadwinner in a family with 3 kids?
Oh, it's a legitimate fear that's played.
Yes. But I'm saying,
I need to back up. I'm stepping over the cynicism curve here. I got to back up.
insurance is all numbers. It's a numbers game. They know statistically X amount of breadwinners with 3 kids dies,
Yes.
that 1% of them die, or whatever the number is.
Yeah. Well, and
Insurance doesn't exist unless it's profitable for the
no,
insurance company.
but the fear thing,
Fear sells, Michael.
fear sells, which gets to the article that you sent me. It's one of the best fucking articles I've read in a long, long time.
Yeah. Yeah. The Rise of American Authoritarianism.
Yeah, that
Say
is
that
incredible.
real fast, isn't it?
We gonna post that.
We are going to post that. Yeah. It's
And-
already on Facebook under.
It's on the
Carl and
Facebook. Okay, we'll post it
We'll
wherever
post it
we
on
can.
show notes.
Can we paste? Can you post it on that flipboard? Because I couldn't figure out how to
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
on the
Well, I
flipboard.
didn't get it on. If I can find it on Flipboard.
See, can you post on Flipboard if you don't get it on Flipboard?
I'm not up on my Flipboard enough to know that.
I'm
I
gonna
use.
figure.
I never tried to go out to in on Flipboard. I just live inside the
That's
Flipboard
probably a Google
world.
question.
I'm sure you could.
But that whole article has made me question my views about people who support folks like Trump and Ted Cruz and why.
Yeah.
Because I was just simply going, well, they're redneck cracker some bitches and
Right.
bigots and racists.
And there are some,
And there are definitely some of
that
those
is a
that don't-
subcategory.
Yeah.
but it's not. It's not the big category.
No.
Rise. This
Yeah.
authoritarianism and the rise of it in the United States is the big category.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Okay, for folks, and correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong here.
Well, I've only read it once.
This
too.
this whole thing began as a series of studies after World War II by
Political scientists.
scientists and universities to try and understand how somebody like Hitler could
Happen.
arise and get the support from the general public. Okay,
Right.
how did that happen? And David Ignatius on Joe in the Morning the other day, they weren't talking about this, but they go, sometimes good countries go bad. He's talking about the state of what we're into
Right.
right now. Sometimes good countries can go bad. And so they're trying to get to where they understand how this can happen. It's a fascinating article. I mean, it's long. It's
Right.
going to take you a while to read it. I'm still reading the last, probably page or two.
Yeah, it's a
but,
long article.
Man, it is worth the read because it helps. It helped me look at what's going on from a different angle.
Yes.
Okay, whether it's the right angle or not, I don't know. But
Well,
there's
and
a
so
lot of
for
lot
our
of it.
audience,
Yeah.
it seems like authoritarianism. The basic feel is the need is a fear based, and fear about the changing social order. And we have a lot of change going. We have change going on society wise with the gay marriage this year. Marijuana laws changing. Things are changing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got culturally, you've got the rise of Mexican Americans, minorities becoming bigger than the white majority has
Yeah.
always been there. So you got that going on. Then you got rapid technological change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Things are changing really fast.
Yeah.
And not in the direction, in a new direction.
Yeah.
Okay. So change. Anybody, you and I, first time we experience change, it's like our initial reaction is to pull back,
Yeah.
and then we need to process it,
Yeah.
and then we move forward.
Yeah.
That's hopefully
Yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah.
But some people don't; they just go one direction.
They pull back and
right?
pull away from
right.
it. And
And
go,
so they want social order. They want the social order the way it was, and authoritarianism is the desire for to get out the other, and to get a strongman leader.
and a
to
lot,
do that.
Yeah, and what it says is that this is affecting the middle class.
Yeah.
And a big part of it is economic, the way these jobs have been moved overseas. Okay. And it's not the Hispanics, and it's not the blacks, and it's not the migrants of any kind, or Middle Eastern or Muslims that move those jobs overseas.
Right. It was big corporations.
It was
that
big
moved those jobs
corporations.
overseas.
Yeah. And now that's not
For-
a cynical
for-
thing. That's just a flat ass
For,
truth.
for pure money.
Yeah, they
pure
moved them
balance
overseas.
sheet bean
Moved
counting.
them overseas.
No, if it's going to cost you nine cents. You see this on Shark Tank.
Yeah,
This is going to cost you 9 cents to make it here and 3 cents to make it in China. You
You're
go to
gonna make
China
it in
to make
China.
it. And that's And we support that every time we get the cheaper products and stuff.
Yes, every time you
we're
buy,
involved in this.
Yeah.
thing.
Oh no,
But
everybody's
that's much
involved
easier
in this.
to just say it's the other.
Yeah, but then
And that's what Trump's doing, right?
Well-
Get rid of the Mexicans. They're here illegally. There's a bunch of them. So those are all jobs that they're taking.
they're jobs that you're taking. No, they're not taking the factory jobs. The factory jobs have been taken and shipped overseas to China. Those are the jobs that
Mexico.
were really making in Mexico. Those were the jobs that were making a strong middle class in the
Right.
in the Midwest, right? Up in
right.
the big
Yes.
state and all those up there. Carl's hometown.
Minnesota.
Yeah, and so that's why Bernie did well this last time in Michigan is because of
Yes,
that,
he
and
did.
so that is that white working middle class, and they desire to be able to go back to that. They want to go. There is no going
And that's
back.
what Trump's saying, though. Trump's
Yeah,
saying, I'm going to
is-
bring the jobs back because
Yeah.
we made horrible deals with all these countries.
Yeah, bullshit.
We make
People
horrible
have been-
deals with these countries. The corporation said I can make it for 4
Yes,
times cheaper
yes.
in China. It's always been. Why do we have slavery? It was
Yeah.
a cheap form of employer.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get. This isn't new.
Yeah. No.
We just moved from slaves, then we legalized them.
Yeah.
So then we brought in immigrants.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
To get the cheap labor.
Yeah.
And now now we have a world, so you can find cheap. If China suddenly got our wages, everybody would move the jobs to somewhere in Africa or
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in South America or wherever the cheap labor was. That's
The
going to
cheap
go
labor.
on.
The cheap labor that built the railroads in the beginning was
Yeah.
Chinese.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it is.
And
Now,
so,
I don't know if you can even change that, really.
well, I think awareness helps.
Awareness
The
helps.
awareness helps a lot.
Right.
So just don't blame your neighbors for some of this kind of stuff that's going on because they happen to look different to you.
And the
It's-
shareholder, and quite frankly, if a CEO said, "I'm going to make it in American jobs and it's going to cost more," and the profits were low on that company, the shareholders could revolt
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
And who are the shareholders? Yeah.
They say it's the shareholders. Everybody has money. Don't you have a retirement account? You're
Yeah,
a shareholder.
yeah.
That's bullshit. There's 90% or 80% of the shares in corporations are owned by a fraction of the population.
And even Wall Street doesn't care about that shit anymore. They're
No.
going into these money games,
Yeah. Yeah.
right, to make really insane
Yeah.
profits.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so this whole authoritarian thing was very interesting in the way people. Now, when I say people, I don't know necessarily who those people are. I'm going to call them the establishment. Okay, exploit people's fears to maintain the establishment.
Yes.
And you and I talked about this. I'm slowly trying to evolve and absorb this article and
Well, I
try
think
and,
the GOP especially has done that, but you could say that. But I think the GOP more than anybody has done that
Yeah.
over the years, and Fox News definitely did it,
yeah,
and talk radio does it,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
it breeds the culture with authoritarianism can come.
yeah,
And along it came in the voice of Donald Trump.
yeah, yeah.
But-
And so that when you're looking for, you're just looking for simple fixes.
Yeah.
Build a wall,
But then the answer.
ship them back.
Yes. But the belief that Trump is, if it wasn't for Trump, this doesn't happen. No, Trump is just an effect. The cause was already in place, and it's a problem.
He's playing the role, and I want to come up with a modifier for this word. The noun is Messiah, but I need a modifier for that shows is he a social Messiah? It's not a religious Messiah. We're not saying he's the Jesus. Maybe Messiah is too big a word
Trump
that I
is the
shouldn't even.
outsider that's going to. It's kind of ironic because the Republican establishment fueled this.
Yeah,
Right? This fear of the others, minorities, wanting of social
he's
order.
the savior.
Right?
He's
wanting,
the savior.
wanting the
Yeah.
strong leader.
Yeah.
And he's come along and fulfilled that role. But if he didn't come along,
Somebody else would.
somebody else will. Ted Cruz isn't that far off. Ted
No.
Cruz just has a layer
Yeah.
of theocracy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He's got
Well, Bernie's tapping that same that same vein, to a certain degree.
extent,
Yeah, he is,
absolutely.
because there are people there that are going, you know, they're just as anti-establishment. It's just in a different.
Trump's going to bring the jobs back. Bernie's going to take the banks out and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
get our money.
yeah. Man, it was just an incredible article, and I'm probably going to have to read it again
Yeah.
and again.
Yes.
To
So go to
absorb different parts
carlmike.net.
of
We
it.
will put the link to that article in our show notes there.
Yeah.
Do read that article. It's called "The Rise of American Authoritarianism" on vox.com.
Yeah, and it's got all kinds of interesting links away from it, which I've only hit a couple of them.
Yeah.
And that link back to the actual studies and stuff.
I'm writing an article right now for the Daily News Bin.
For the what?
It's called the Daily News Bin, and the article I'm writing is called "Dumpster Diving in the Trump Bin."
Oh, that's good.
Thank you. Yeah, so
That's good.
and
That's
so
good.
I've gone in there and I looked at the groups because it's on the surface it's easy to just say, oh, it's just a bunch of bigots raising their hand, the Hitler kind of thing. It's KKK's fueling all this, and my brain was saying, I know our country can't be that KKK, right? I mean, yes, we have racism in the country, but it can't be that deep to give Trump those kind of numbers.
No, but that KKK is the one that gets the attention.
Yes, but that's the human filth in the dumpster. You got to slide your way through that, and you're going to find there's several blocks of people. You've got what we just talked about, this rise of American authoritarianism, people that are fearful of the changes happening in society on those levels and want order reestablished and want a strong man to do it. And Trump is America's Putin.
Yeah.
No surprise that Trump likes Putin because Trump's going to like other strongmen.
We haven't actually seen Trump be strong yet. He's playing one on TV.
He's playing one on TV.
He's playing one on the reality show here.
Yeah.
This is a reality show so far.
Right.
Until it becomes not a reality show, it's a reality
He's
show.
playing one on TV and
Yeah,
playing
he's
it
playing
well
one
enough
on
to
t-
get that.
yeah.
The problem in a general election for the Democrats, and everybody's underestimated him in every step of the way, and he's still being underestimated because, Hillary's going to clean his clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you keep underestimating Trump, you will lose.
Mitt Romney underestimated, and now who's talking about what Mitt had to say? Nobody wants to give a shit what
About
that
Mitt.
had to say. He's a loser, like Trump said. He's a loser.
That was the end of him.
He should have won that.
Low
It was
energy,
an easy,
boom, done.
out.
Gone.
Gone.
In 2 sentences, he dismantles.
Yeah, and then he pivots and
Romney.
moves on, and everybody goes, yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the brilliance that is Trump.
Because he hits the little core. Well, yes, Mitt Romney did. That's the lizard brain, right?
Yeah.
Mitt Romney did lose.
Yeah.
If you're a Republican,
they're
should have
upset.
beaten Trump. Or
Right.
should have beaten Obama. I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's true.
Therefore,
His point is
he just
discredited.
reminds them of what they're already thinking,
Right.
that they haven't thought about for a while, and they're still pissed about it. And he goes, "You really want to listen to anything that guy has to say?" And the answer to that question would be, "No."
Right. Problem for America and for the Democrats, with Trump, in the general, is if they're going to have a lot more low information voters. Way more vote in the general than in the primaries. Low information voter and Trump 24/7. Fear is a very powerful motivator. He'll pick up more low information voters than we care to admit. So then you got that. Then you got the group, the winners. I'm a winner. I want to follow a winner.
I want to be part of
Trump's
that
a
thing,
winner.
yeah.
We need a winner in America. You got the whole winning thing.
Yeah.
I think that appeals to 20-something young men who are trying to make it in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They
Appeals
want to
to
be
the-
on a winning team.
He appeals to the Tony Robbins,
Yeah.
let's go and
Yeah.
make this happen.
Rah. It's like a pep rally.
Yeah.
And they're and it's a high school football team.
Yeah.
And you
Go,
got your
go,
cheerleaders
win,
out
win.
there, and
Charlie Sheen winning.
Yeah, yeah,
Bad boy
yeah.
Charlie Sheen, bad boy Trump.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But he's a winner and he wins and he's won in business. Then he'll get. So when Trump says I'll bring the trade jobs back, you go, yeah, he's a business guy. Read the book, Art of the Deal.
Yeah.
Whatever. So you got that group that's inside this Trump
Sells
duster.
steaks, champagne,
Yeah.
all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
that was kind of weird.
Right,
Did you see that conference?
Yeah,
Where he brought
it's-
them all out. And here's the right.
Well,
Most of
but
those products aren't available anymore.
But see, the thing is, it's like the shopping network. Somebody was saying it's like a shopping. It's exactly right. But that's reality TV shopping network. That's what that whole
Yes, but-
dynasty kind of
Yeah.
off-road truckers kind
That's
of.
what I don't get. He sold the steaks in sharper image. Now, you're familiar with Sharper
Oh,
Image?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
in the back of every airplane.
You
And
can
that's
get
where
a
you get
drone and a
you
steak.
can get a sauna for your house.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you can get the vibrating chair.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if
And
steaks is something I really want to look at.
No,
in that
no,
that
it's
place,
really not.
From a marketing standpoint. I'm just saying. Anyway, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
So that's that group. The third group you have, which is susceptible to this, is Reagan Democrats. People that voted for Bernie in Michigan could go to Trump.
I think
Bernie
so.
and Trump have some mixed
Yes.
stuff.
Oh yeah, there's some
do
crossover.
not understand.
There is some crossover there. If Bernie's not it,
If Trump wins the election, I think the story will be how many of Bernie supporters went to Trump versus went to Hillary.
unfortunately, I think there'll be a number of them.
So you got, the Reagan Democrats, I say, those are the
Yeah.
Rust Belt area, and that's Reagan, Pennsylvania. That's Reagan Democrat country.
And Trump's already talking their language.
Yeah.
Bringing the jobs back. Oh, good. I'll be able to work at the tire factory again. That thing that's been closed for the last 15 years, they're going to open it up, and I'll be able to get my job back at $42.50 an hour. And wrong. Not gonna
So
happen.
there's definitely that going on as a group for him that you got to worry about. So between the Reagan Democrats, the winners, the authoritarianism, and then the flotsam and jetsam of KKK.
I think
supporters.
the winners are good.
Yeah.
I think the winners are good.
So I think the Democrats have to be able, how are they going to answer that?
See, the part that I don't is I don't get
Because I'm
the
worried the Democrats.
evangelical part.
Oh yeah,
Now,
I do get it.
you do? Okay,
Totally
we'll talk
get it.
about it because you
Why
didn't talk
does
about that.
Yes. Why does evangelical go for Trump, who's totally non-evangelical? What do they want? A strong man like Jesus. That's total authoritarianism. Evangelicalism is a beautiful ground of
They go and
fermented soil
They
for
listen to a
authoritarianism.
strong man every week in the pulpit.
Yes.
Is that not a strong man?
And is
It's
that strong man
stronger than
telling a
they
bunch
are.
of bullshit?
Yeah.
Right? Interpreting
Yeah.
the Bible in
Yeah.
bullshitty ways. Yeah, they listen to
Now,
Strongman every
Carl.
week. Well, you think this Jeffries, what? Cynicism?
Step away from that cynicism cliff.
No, I wish it was. I wish I was being cynical.
Yeah. No, I think they're definitely.
That Jeffries guy or whatever here
Oh,
in
yeah.
Dallas,
I don't know.
he went for Trump. Why? Trump
No.
has nothing to do with Christianity. Either does the biggest church in Dallas, ironically.
Yeah.
I think I put a good segment of the evangelicals in the authoritarianisms. They're already there. They're already there. So that group, so that's why Trump gets more evangelicals than Cruz does.
Yeah.
Because it didn't make sense to me either for a while. Like, why in the hell is Trump, why are they going for a guy
That's
who doesn't
good.
even go to church?
You're writing an article about this, or
Yeah,
you written it?
I'm in the process.
Ooh, you
It's
gotta
mostly
send-
written.
Send to. I want to read it when you get through with it. When you
It's not-
finish it.
yeah.
Are you going to post it on?
I will give a link to it on our
Okay.
Mighty Fine Show notes.
Okay,
That should be written by then.
All right. Cool.
So we got that going on.
That sounds good.
So the point for the Democrats is, because I see it already happening. Oh, well, Trump's only getting 33% of the Republicans, so there's no way he can beat a Democrat.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, this country is only divided by a little hair.
Yeah.
All right, we're 49-49 as a country,
See-
Republican, Democrat. Now, yes, Trump will lose some traditional Republicans that will vote for, or will either not vote or vote for Hillary. But Trump has the ability to get a lot of those four buckets.
And you think about the people that are the winners, and you got people that want to be winners in both camps. Okay, they want to be winners, so they want to be part of the winning team. Okay, and what makes them feel like they're being part of the winning team? Either what they think or something that persuades them. This is another thing I've been thinking about because it just, I followed it like a champ during 2012, and it hit exactly the way it's supposed to. That site. 538. What's his name?
God, I'm blanking on his name.
Yeah. Anyway, look it up. 538.com. It's just numbers, and he had it down cold.
Right.
What would this election look like, or any election look like, if the news media that was covering it did not constantly refer to polls and who's leading and who's not? Say, in other words, you can't talk about polls. You can't say that this person's 20
Well,
points
I think
ahead.
it would depend on what narrative story the media was sharing.
Well,
if
just-
it's talking about
there's-
Trump all the time,
there-
then
what-
it would seem like Trump would be winning,
Well, it would, but yes.
right?
But you take the poll numbers out of it because a lot of people will look at polls. I think there are people that will I look at polls all the time. I go, wow, he's 20 points ahead. Well, how many points do they say that Hillary is ahead in
Right.
Michigan? Didn't happen that way.
538 said if the day before, if Bernie wins, it'll be the biggest polling error in the history of polls.
Oh, really?
She was up by 20.
Yeah, and he beat her by what? I don't know, whatever it was. So
Yeah.
they were right again.
Yeah, he was right. That would be the most biggest
538.
upset.
I need to start watching that again.
Well, he didn't predict it.
Yeah,
but he said
but
if
he's-
it happened, it would be the biggest
Yeah,
mistake. in
but
polling
there
history.
must have been something. There's
Something's
something
in the-
hinky in the numbers
Yeah.
that he was looking at. The companies that do the polling,
Yeah.
are they not part of that establishment? They feed the establishment with information that they want. And the establishment is the one that comes up with the questions that they ask to
My
slant
understanding,
polls.
there's just like there's junk science and good science, there's junk polling and good polling. And
Yeah.
what 538 really does isn't that they're a good poll, is that they just look at the conglomerate.
Yeah, they
Right.
average it all out, bad,
Yeah,
good, and
right. So they take. So I think people sometimes buy what they want to see.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know.
But I think
So I
if,
think
if you
theirs
didn't,
happen.
if
So I don't
if-
think polling is
don't
exact.
you think that winners sometimes they go in, they say, well, I really like Ted Cruz, but it looks like Trump is like 20 points ahead. I'm going to go in and go in and vote for him because I'm going to have to vote for him in the final deal. But they see the numbers and they think
Right.
that.
Yeah. I think Hillary that absolutely could have happened, and they
Yeah.
say that did happen. In Hillary's case, there might be some Hillary voters who went over and voted against Trump or for Trump
Yeah.
because they thought he'd be easier.
Yeah.
If Hillary's not, assuming that Hillary's the nominee, it's not going to be easy to beat Trump. It's not going to be. It's
No,
not a
no.
Barry Goldwater situation. I don't think.
No, I think that I
Ted
think,
Cruz, I think, could be a Barry Goldwater
I think
situation.
if he gets the nomination, which I'm going to just assume at this point
He's
he's
won.
got it.
He's won Alabama and Massachusetts.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
won Alabama and
Yeah.
Vermont.
Yeah.
He's won. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
He's
He's-
up 45 to 22. Rubio's at 22. Trump's at 45 in Florida.
Yeah,
That's a
it's-
big jump.
I'm going to assume that he's going to
I'm
be.
assuming he's in. I think he
And
gets
I'm going
in.
to assume that there's nothing he can do at this point.
He's talked about his dick size. He's gone with the KKK.
Yeah.
He's paused on the KKK.
Yeah.
He's
He's
done the Trump.
he's said fuck and shit and all kinds
said
of
every
stuff.
bad
on-
word there
yeah,
is to say.
which you would think would scare off a lot of people.
Right.
But what
he
they're
wants
do-
the Mexicans
see,
deported.
he's
He wants
saying stuff that these people are thinking, but they'll say the F word or so, they'll say something like that. He's giving them cover to think a certain way, to feel a certain way, and it's bringing it out of the darkness, bringing it out of the shadows.
Let's cynical watch. Here it comes. Beep beep beep.
Back
Okay,
away
so
from
I'm
the
gonna,
cliff.
just going to put a little hair on the back of your neck.
Ooh.
What he's also done, Michael,
Mm-hmm.
is to create the template for the authoritarian leaders to follow.
He's what?
Created the template for the authoritarian leaders to follow.
The Antichrist.
Hasn't he?
He
To be a strong man, the playbook has now been written.
he's been written, and Trump ain't it. It's
No.
going to be worse than that.
Yeah, it's going to be, imagine the Trump antics along with gravitas in politics or whatever.
He ain't Putin.
He ain't Putin, but he plays one on TV.
Yeah,
Putin
there
is
could be
still coming.
the real Putin's coming.
Yeah. So America needs to get ahead of this.
Get ahead of the curve. Try to
Yeah.
get ahead of the curve.
Democrats need to wake up and especially Democratic leaders and know how to craft a message.
We'll be thrown
against
in
this.
prison for talking like this.
Well, yes. When they go back in time, yes,
Yes.
to look at who they want to toss out.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's others way before us.
The
but-
podcasters and the intellectuals.
and the people with glasses. Fortunately, I'm not wearing mine right
Yeah.
now. No, you didn't think it would happen in America, but that article really did wake
Yeah.
me up to the not so much to the understanding and how it happens, and that's the first step to being able to fight it. You got to understand what's happening, and so
Yeah.
to paint Trump in cartoon character brushes with
It's
you know,
easy to do.
it's just-
I've done it.
yeah, it's just
I've
he's
done it
just
with
a
the images
KKK
and stuff.
redneck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It ain't. No, it's
Oh, yeah.
deeper than that.
Yeah, it's way deeper than that.
Yeah.
And it's potentially way scarier.
Yeah. So Trump may, yeah. So Hillary, pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do check everything out on carlmike.net. That's carlmike.net. We'll have all those links. And we're over at Carl Mike on social media, so come pay us a visit at Twitter, Facebook, you name it. And let's make America. It's not let's make America great again. Let's make America wake up.
Yeah. In the meantime, go to the grocery store and buy a bottle of water and bags of beans and rice and some cans
hope we didn't
cans
go
of
that.
Vienna sausage.
I still believe Trump will lose, but I'm surely not gonna underestimate.
You're not going to put any money on that, are you?
No, I'm not putting any money on it.
Yeah.
Because hey, he's gonna define Hillary too, and she's got high unacceptable, and a liar calling someone a liar.
Yeah.
We know how he's enabled to define opponents.
Yeah.
And he'll probably do something crazy like she's a rape enabler, or who knows
Yeah.
where he goes with this.
Yeah.
Authoritarian will go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And do anything, and say anything.
And the crowds will just keep cheering.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That's and now why don't you flip back to CBS
Yeah.
morning show,
Change that
Today's
channel.
show, or the Good Morning America, and just have a light peppy morning talk somewhere after Carl and Mike. You really need to do some bloodletting.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Out.